Hello my intelligent friends, welcome to this third lecture on the topic of bills of exchange. In the previous two lectures, we have discussed about the concept of negotiable instruments. We had studied that negotiable instruments basically are of three types. First one is check, second one is bills of exchange, and third one is promissory note. Checks are known to us because we use them on day-to-day basis. Bills of exchange and promissory notes are new to us. We have studied that bill of exchange is basically an unconditional order given by the drawer or the creditor to the drawee or the debtor, asking him to pay a specific sum of money to a specific person or to the bearer on a specific date. A small difference which we had studied between check and a bill of exchange is that the check becomes payable immediately when it is drawn and it is fresh for next 3 months. Thereafter the check becomes stale check. But in case of bills of exchange, it is exactly opposite. After it is drawn, it is not immediately becoming payable. It becomes payable after a particular period of time. So till the time the period has not lapsed, which is mentioned in the bill of exchange, although it is accepted by the drawee, still it is not payable. It will become payable only upon the completion of the specified period. Then there is a promissory note. A promissory note is a different version of bill of exchange, but it is not an order, it is a promise. So it is drawn by the debtor himself. Bill of exchange is drawn by the creditor giving an order to the debtor. On the other hand, promissory note is drawn by the debtor himself. It's a promise given by him to the creditor that after a particular period of time I'll pay you or to your order or to the bearer a specific sum of money. Then we studied how the bill of exchange can be drawn. There are different types of bill of exchange. We studied based on their purpose or their place or their method of drawing. Bills of exchange can be classified into different categories. We studied that it can be trade bill or it can be accommodation bill, it can be inland bill or it can be foreign bill. We also studied about the bill of exchange can be either after date or after sight or on site, on presentment, on demand. Those are the points we have already studied. We also studied the concept of due date. There are two different types of due date for us. One is called as a nominal due date and one is called as a legal due date. The difference between nominal due date and legal due date is that nominal due date is before considering grace days and legal due date is after considering grace days. Now what is the meaning of grace days? Grace days is a legal period, extra period granted to the drawee to honor the bill. It is always of 3 days. We also studied some special situations. If the legal due date is falling on a public holiday, then we must honor the bill 1 day earlier. And if it is on an emergency holiday, it is declared by the government afterwards. In that case, the due date falls on the immediately following working day. Those are the points which we are already studying. We even studied the format of bill of exchange, where the name of the drawer is drawn, where the name of the drawee is drawn or written. What is the sentence to be written? What is the last part of the sentence it must be, that is for the value received, because a valid bill of exchange can be drawn only if there is an existing debtor-creditor relationship between the drawer and the drawee. So it is necessary that the drawer has sold some goods to the drawee and drawee owes money to the drawer. Since he does not have cash today, he is promising to pay afterwards. That means it is basically credit sale of goods. But the drawer is stating, anyway it's a credit sale of goods, that's not a problem, just accept one more instrument which is drawn by me and give it back to me. So now I am having one more guarantee that you are going to pay after the specified period of time a specific sum of money. And most important, this guarantee, this particular instrument, I can transfer it to somebody else. So there is no need for me to come to your house or to your office on the due date and to demand the money. I can give this bill to somebody else, that somebody else can come and collect it from you. So that gives me an additional facility. That is the basic beauty of bill of exchange. We studied the format, we studied even how acceptance can be made. There can be conditional acceptance or qualified acceptance, that is a term which we had used. What is the meaning of qualified acceptance? All these different points I have discussed in the first two lectures. So those of you who have not seen the first two lectures, I'll recommend you to go through them. It will be easy for you to understand the practical problems which I'll be solving from now onwards. One lecture, one problem, and our basic method is, first of all, read the problem, thereafter observe what are the different things which are mentioned in the problem, and then start the solution. I am planning to solve somewhere around 24 to 25 problems in the topic of bills of exchange. So it's a big playlist we are going to prepare. I would like you to be with me for all the problems. Okay, so be ready with your paper, pen, pencil. A pencil is required for the purpose of drawing the formats, pen obviously for the purpose of writing, and your notebook and your mind. Okay, so let us go for starting with our first problem. First question, simple question. First problem, simple problem, no tension. On 1st of June 2019, Pratap sold goods to Sujit. Pratap sold goods to Sujit worth rupees 82,000. Sujit accepted a bill drawn upon him by Pratap for 2 months for rupees 82,000. Give journal entries in the books of Pratap and Sujit for the following cases. A. The bill is honored on the due date. B. The bill is dishonored on the due date. And C. Bill is dishonored on the due date and noting charges of rupees 250 paid by Pratap. So 3 different situations they have told. Honored on the due date, or dishonored on the due date, or dishonored on the due date and noting charges are paid by Mr. Pratap rupees 250. So if you remember my second lecture, the last part of the second lecture, I had told you about 2 different things. What can happen in the life of a bill of exchange and what can happen at the end of its life. What can happen in the life of a bill of exchange? There we had specified 4 different possibilities. The first possibility was the bill may be retained. There was a triangle pyramid I had drawn at that time. First possibility was bill may be retained, green color. The second possibility was that bill may be discounted with the bank. Third one was bill will be sent to the bank for collection, and the fourth one was bill may be endorsed. I hope you remember that particular thing. So here in this problem they have not mentioned that the bill is discounted. They have not mentioned anything about bill being sent to bank for collection. They have not mentioned anything about endorsement also. So it's the first case, bill is retained. I hope everybody remembers the discussion what we had made. Let me just show you if you are not in a position to remember it. Meaning of bill of exchange, yes. Due date, terms and life of bill of exchange, yes. This was the presentation which we had discussed. Let me just disappear from here, and yeah, this is the presentation. And here we had gone for understanding all the different concepts. I hope you remember the due date concept, and then we talked about types of bill, and yes, this one. What can happen to the life before its due date? Number 1, bill can be retained by the drawer. So in this case they have told that bill is retained by the drawer because nothing is mentioned about discounted with the bank, nothing is mentioned about sent to bank for collection, nothing is mentioned about endorsement also. It means the bill is retained. Okay, let us consider the next part. They have told you that what can happen on the due date. The bill is honored on the due date, or bill is dishonored on the due date, or bill is dishonored on the due date and noting charges of rupees 250 being paid by Pratap. That's what they have told. So they have considered 3 different alternative endings for this particular problem. If the problem is ending like this, then what will be the entry? If the problem is ending like that, then what will be the entry? And if the problem is ending in another manner, what will be the entry? So there are 3 possible endings to the same story. And if you remember properly, in this presentation we had talked about what can happen on the due date. It may be honored or it may be dishonored. These are the points which we had discussed. Okay, and then I have considered certain special summaries, that if it is before the due date, then what happens, what is the word which we use, if it is after the due date, then what happens. Okay, and then this entire graph we had maintained on the due date. If it happens before the due date and it is honored, it is called as retired. If it is before the due date but the drawee comes and makes a request that please cancel the bill, then it is called as cancelled. It is basically dishonor, but it is called as cancellation because it is in good faith by the drawee upon his request. And if it is honored on the due date, then it is called as only honored, it is not called as retired. And if it is dishonored after the due date or on the due date, in that case it is not called as cancellation, it is called as dishonoring the bill. And now the question may have the information about bill amount as well as interest amount as well as noting charges amount. May have, may not have, it depends. So in the second point which the problem has given, bill is honored on the due date, simple situation, or bill is dishonored on the due date, again simple situation, only bill amount is given. In that case we are not required to think about interest amount and we are not required to think about noting charges also. And in the third case, point number C, we will be considering bill amount as well as noting charges, interest is not given. So let us now try to solve the same problem with 3 different possible endings. Okay, so it is like a Hindi movie, Bollywood movie. wherein the story is given to you and then they have told you that either this can happen or that can happen or this can happen. Then how the story will be ending. Okay, Quentin Tarantino movie or something of that sort. We can think of Hollywood movies if we are thinking of. If any of you are watching Hollywood movies and you are knowing Quentin Tarantino, then probably you may understand these things. Okay, anyway, what is important for us is bill of exchange, not movies. So let us move ahead. Let me just get out of the presentation of the previous thing. Okay, and let me now start with this one. Okay, so what I'll be doing for the purpose of our solution is I'll be drawing journal. Now see how journal is drawn by me. On the left hand side this is one journal and on the right hand side this is another journal. For you, when you are writing it, please use both sides of your notebook. So left hand side page and right hand side page. That will be easy for you. So this I can call it as my left hand side page of the notebook, and this I can call it as my right hand side of the notebook. So the entire PowerPoint presentation is a full notebook opened by me. This is left hand side and this is right hand side. And further what I have done is for you to understand that there is no continuity from left hand side to right hand side. Left hand side will be continuously left and right hand side will be continuously right. I have ensured that both of them are colored differently. Right hand side I am coloring as green color and left hand side I am coloring as yellow color, light yellow color. Now obviously you cannot go for coloring, that is not our, it's not a drawing exam. So this is only for your visual understanding that where I am writing and how I am writing. So left hand side there is one journal format, right hand side there is another journal format. Journal format, you are all aware how the format is to be drawn. It is date, particulars, LF, debit amount and credit amount. That is on the left hand side and same on the right hand side. But most important thing which I would like you to remember, and in fact in every problem of bill of exchange which you are going to solve with me or without me, in your mind you should remember which side is written in which particular, on which particular page, whose books are written on which particular page for the purpose of examination. So what I'll recommend is on the left hand side page, up above the margin, top margin, up above the top margin, please write these words first: supplier, creditor, drawer. Before you draw the format, up above the top margin of the page, either by pen or by pencil, you may write these words. Every problem, every solution, you are going to write this particular thing. Left hand side is for supplier, creditor, drawer. Right hand side is for purchaser, buyer, drawee. Every problem of bill of exchange you must write it, so there is no tension. You are not going to get confused in whose books I am passing the entry, what entry should be passed, nothing of that sort. The moment you are thinking of solving a problem of bill of exchange, you are supposed to consider two different pages. Left hand side page always for supplier, creditor, drawer. He is the supplier, that means he is the creditor, and since he is the creditor he can draw the bill of exchange, that's why he is called as a drawer. And right hand side is for purchaser, buyer or drawee. Since he is the buyer, he is the debtor, so I can use additional word here: purchaser, buyer, debtor, or drawee. And here also I can use one more word: supplier, creditor, seller. I hope it is easy to understand. Okay, so these are the ways in which you are supposed to keep it in mind, so there is no chance of you making mistake in examination. Where are we supposed to write? Okay, so this is how the format is. On the left hand side, supplier or seller or creditor or drawer. On the right hand side it is purchaser or buyer or debtor or drawee. Once this is written, then you start reading the problem. Now it is already known to you. In the problem, while reading, you can immediately understand this person is creditor, okay, that means his books will be considered on left hand side, and this person is debtor, okay, that means his books will be written on right hand side. Oh, this person is purchaser or this person is drawee. Any word may be used by the problem. It will help you quickly to understand where to write his books. I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay, so two different pages we are going to consider for the purpose of drawing the format. Okay, left hand side and right hand side page. Then comes the next part. Let us now write down the observations first. What are the observations we are making? See the problem. On 1st June 2019, Pratap sold goods to Sujit worth rupees 82,000. Let me write down the observation. That is my old practice. Whenever I am solving the problem, I disappear from the screen and I ensure that you are discussing or talking to only your own problem. Okay, so observation is, yeah, first observation, Pratap is the seller and Sujit is the buyer. Second observation, that bill is drawn on 1st of June 2019. Bill is drawn on 1st of June 2019. These observations you need not write in exam. These observations are only for you and me, so it will become easy for you to understand how I solve the problem. Okay, bill is drawn on 1st June 2019. Nothing is mentioned whether the bill is after date or after sight. That means we will assume that the bill is after date. The bill is assumed to be after date. Okay, next one, they have told you that the bill duration is 2 months. The tenure of the bill is equal to 2 months. Next one, the amount of the bill is rupees 82,000. Amount of the bill is equal to rupees 82,000. Okay, next one, they have told you that bill is either honored or dishonored, or dishonored and noting charges being paid. So these are the points I have mentioned. I think observations are more than sufficient. I can write one more extra observation if you want. That is, the problem is giving 3 alternative situations. Problem is giving 3 alternative situations. Now please tell me, what is your opinion when we are thinking about these 3 alternative situations? These situations are changing at the time of drawing the bill, that is when the bill is coming into existence for the first time, or these situations are changing the entire picture when the bill's life is going on, that is during the lifetime of the bill, or these situations are talking about what is happening on the due date of the bill. Think about it, read the problem carefully. I'm giving you 3 options again. These 3 different situations are talking about what happened at the time of drawing the bill, or during the lifetime of the bill, or at the time of due date of the bill. Yes, correct. The correct answer is, the 3 situations are talking about what is going to happen on the due date of the bill, not what is happening at the time of drawing the bill or what is happening during the lifetime of the bill. Drawing, every situation the point is same. Lifetime, the point is same. Only thing what is changing is what may happen on the due date. So what I'm going to do is, the entry for drawing I'm going to keep constant, and thereafter I'm going to consider 3 alternative situations. So I'm repeating again, I am not going to consider 3 solutions wherein the entry for drawing will be passed for 3 times. That is not the case. I will consider entry for drawing only once, and once that entry is passed, then I'll say option A, what are the entries which will have to be passed if option A comes into real life. Then I'll stop that entry, then I'll go for option B. For option B, I will not again pass the entry for drawing because drawing is constant. Only option B talking about dishonor. So if on the due date dishonor happens, how the entry will have to be passed. So the solution method in such type of problem is, those entries which are constant, they need not be written again and again. Only those situations which are going to change, that will have to be solved separately. Okay, so this is the point to be kept in mind. Let us now start with our entries. I hope you have drawn the format. If you haven't drawn the format, pause the video, draw the format properly. Left hand side page is for supplier, seller, creditor or drawer, and right hand side page is for purchaser, buyer, debtor or drawee. Format is journal format. You already know the format from 11th standard. Date, particulars, LF, debit amount and credit amount. Follow the same. And after completing the drawing part, then resume the video. Okay. So now I'm assuming that you have resumed the video after drawing the format, and I'm starting with the solution now. First of all, the format says supplier, seller, creditor, drawer. In the books of whom? Let us check. Who is the seller? Pratap is the seller and Sujit is the buyer. So I'll consider now in the books of Pratap. Just a moment. In the books of Pratap. And here it will be in the books of Sujit. Okay, so this is also written. That's good. So we can go ahead with what? These are the things to be written in the center line part. So it looks nice, neat and clean. Now let us consider first entry. What is the first entry? First entry is for drawing the bill. When the bill is drawn, it is drawn on 1st of June 2019. When it is accepted on the same date. So I can specify bill is drawn on 1st of June 2019 and date of acceptance is not given. So it is assumed to be accepted on the same date. सर वाय आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट डेट ऑफ एक्सेप्टन्स? नाही दिया तो नाही दिया, नाही दिली डेट नाही दिली, कशाला आपण अज्युम करायचं? रिझन इज अ बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज व्हेन इट इज एक्सेप्टेड ओनली देन इट इज कॉल्ड एज बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज. टिल दैट टाइम इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ ड्राफ्ट. So we will have to consider something that it is already accepted, that's why it has become bill of exchange, and now we can pass the entries for bill of exchange. Okay, so it is necessary for us to know the date of acceptance, not just the date of drawing. So on 1st of June 2019, what has happened? First one, Pratap sold goods to Sujit. So I'll write here 2019, then I'll write here 1st of June. Now see, my font size will have to be changed by me for the purpose of date. What I'll do is, only for a date I'm going to take a small font size. For rest of the columns I'm going to take a normal font size. Okay, so for date I'm going to consider a small font size. You are having sufficient space because you are having 2 full pages, so there is not a problem. For me it is one single slide, so it may have some difficulties for me. 1st of June 2019, I'm going to consider the entry of sale. What has happened? Pratap has sold the goods. Pratap is selling the goods. Think about it. What is happening for Pratap? For Pratap, goods are coming in or goods are going out? Think about it. For Pratap, goods are coming in or goods are going out, because he is the seller. Since he is the seller, goods are going out, that means 2 sales. Goods are going out, that means 2 goods account. But goods account in 11th standard we had studied, it gets classified into 4 different categories: purchase account, sales account, purchase return account and sales return account. These are the 4 different categories of goods account. So we are going to consider the 4th category, that is, or sorry, the 2nd category, that is the sales account. So goods are going out, credit what goes out to sales account. Debit, is cash coming in? No, cash is not coming in. Then what has happened? Sujit has become our debtor. So the entry is Sujit is the receiver and goods are going out. I am repeating again, Sujit is the debtor and goods are going out. Entry will be in the books of Pratap. Sujit is the receiver, goods are going out. Sujit account debit to sales account. So I'll write here Sujit account debit to sales account. And what is the amount? Amount is known to us, 82,000. And then we are going to pass the narration, being goods sold on credit. Okay, same date here, 1st of June 2019. Now think about it. What is the entry Sujit will pass? For Sujit, goods are going out or goods are coming in? Goods are coming in. Debit what comes in? Goods account debit. But goods account is having 4 different subcategories: purchase, sales, purchase return, sales return. What should we consider? Purchase. So it will be purchase account debit. Cash is not going out, so I can't say credit what goes out. Then I'll have to say who is the giver, why the goods are coming in, who is the supplier, who is the seller, who is the giver. Pratap is the giver, credit the giver, personal account. Entry will be purchases account debit to Pratap account. Purchases account debit to Pratap account. Okay, amount is how much? 82,000. 82,000 being goods purchased on credit. Being goods purchased on credit. Okay, so first entry is passed. Now comes the second entry. On the same date, Sujit accepted a bill drawn upon him by Pratap for 2 months for rupees 82,000. So I'll specify on which date, 1st of June 2019, we drew a bill and we sent it to Pratap, sorry, we sent it to Sujit and we asked him to accept the same. Then Sujit, at the bottom of the bill of exchange, in the middle part, he wrote the word accepted, then he put his name, he put his signature, and he had put the date of acceptance. I hope you remember the format of bill of exchange. So Sujit did this, and the bill is again sent back to Pratap. So now it is in the cash box of Pratap. Pratap is saying bill is coming in. What is coming in? Bill is coming in. This is not sales bill. This is not purchase bill. Mind you, this is neither purchase bill nor sales bill. This is bill of exchange. This is a negotiable instrument. This is not an instrument of transfer of property of the goods. That is sales bill. That is different. That is already prepared. That is given along with goods. And then one more bill was drawn. This is not sales bill. This is bill of exchange. Drawn by whom? Pratap. Sales bill prepared by Pratap. Given to whom? Sujit. Thereafter Sujit need not accept it. Sujit is going to and again give it back to Pratap. Sujit can say, okay, this is there with me. So sales bill prepared by Pratap and given to Sujit. Sujit will keep in his own file. But bill of exchange prepared by Pratap and given to Sujit, Sujit will put the word accepted, put his signature, put the date of acceptance, and he will give it back to Pratap. So two bills prepared by Pratap. First bill, sales bill, simple bill. Given to Sujit, Sujit kept it in his file. Second bill, bill of exchange, prepared by Pratap, given to Sujit. Sujit wanted to keep it in his own file. Pratap said, oh mister, this is not your normal sales bill, purchase bill, this is bill of exchange, accept it and give it back to me. Then Sujit remembered what is to be done. So he found a format. On that particular pro forma, on that particular bill, at the bottom corner or at the bottom part, in the middle part of the bill, he wrote the word accepted. He put his signature, he put his name. He even put the date, and after that, after writing all these different things, he gave it back to Pratap. So now the bill has come back to Pratap. Pratap will say, bill is coming in. Sujit will say, bill is going out. Pratap will say, bill is coming in. Sujit will say, bill is going out. You'll have to identify now. Both of them are saying, bill is coming in, bill is going out. Which name to be given? So Pratap will say, for me, this bill is an acknowledgement, is an acceptance by Sujit that he will pay. So for me it is the amount which is receivable from Sujit after 2 months. For me, this bill guarantees, this bill gives me the acknowledgement, this bill is the written proof that the amount is receivable from Sujit. That the amount is receivable from Sujit. So I will not call it just a bill, I will call it as bills receivable. And Sujit will say, this bill is an acknowledgement, this bill is a written proof that the amount is payable by me to Pratap or to his order. So for Pratap, the bill talks about the amount receivable, whereas for Sujit, the bill talks about amount payable. That's why Pratap will call this as bills receivable, whereas Sujit will call this as bills payable. Pratap will say, bill is coming in, debit what comes in, bill account debit. I will not call it as bill, I will call it as bills receivable. So entry will be bills receivable account debit, bills receivable account debit to, who is the giver? Sujit is the giver. What is Sujit giving to us? Is he giving us cash? No. Is he giving us check? No. So then why are you saying he is the giver? Yes, although he did not give us cash on which the signature of RBI governor is made, although he did not give us check on which his own signatures are made, and it is an order given to his banker, although the check is also not given, but he accepted a bill and gave it back to us. This is also a negotiable instrument. We can use this negotiable instrument for the purpose of either discounting the same, or for the purpose of sending it to bank for collection, or for the purpose of endorsing it in favor of somebody else and settling our other transactions. So Sujit is the giver, and he is the giver of what? No cash, not a check, but a bill, which is a bill receivable for us. Clear to all of you? So the entry will be bills receivable account debit, bills receivable account debit to what? Sujit is the giver, to Sujit's account. I hope it is clear to all of you. Let me just change the size of the format here, so it will be easy for me to complete everything in one single line. Okay, this is good. Yeah, amount is how much? 82,000. 82,000. Let us now write down the narration. What is the narration? Being bill received duly accepted. Okay, we have received a bill, but that too which bill? The bill which is accepted by Sujit. That's why we'll have to use the word being bill received duly accepted. And on same date, 1st of June 2019, Sujit will specify Pratap is the receiver of something. What is that which he is receiving? Pratap is the receiver of something. Debit the receiver, Pratap account debit. But cash is not going out. Check is not going out. A bill is going out. Which bill? That is a bill of exchange, which is a written proof that we will have to pay something to Mr. Pratap, an amount of rupees 82,000 after 2 months. That means I'll have to specify 1st of June, Pratap is the receiver, debit the receiver, Pratap account debit to bills payable account. Amount is how much? Amount is 82,000. Amount is 82,000. Being what? Being bill accepted. Simple narration. Being bill accepted. Okay. Next part. They have told you that the bill is for rupees 82,000 and it is for 2 months. Let me just consider the due date. Due date is equal to 1st of June 2019 plus 2 months is equal to, now the bill is for 2 months, that means nothing will be added to 1 but it will be added to 6, that becomes 1/8. I hope it is easy for you to understand. So it will become 1/8 2019. Please tell me 1/8 2019 is which due date? Nominal due date or legal due date? Think about it. Nominal due date or legal due date? Think about it. Next part is at period. Tenure I can specify. Just a moment. Tenure of the bill. Yes. And then I'll consider next part is equal to nominal due date. I'll have to go for changing the things. I may appear and disappear because my appearance and disappearance depends upon tab. So tab key, whenever I hit, I'll be coming and going from the screen. And then there is nominal due date. Okay. And what is the nominal due date? Think about it. Oh sorry, I'll have to add nominal due date is ready with us. I'll have to add 3 more days now. 3 more days for what? For grace days. Control U and I'll say add grace days. Add grace days. Yes, it is 3 days. So grace days are available to us. And then I'll say legal due date. What is the legal due date? Tell me now. It will be 4th of August 2019. I hope all of you remember this particular discussion, how to calculate the legal due date, how to calculate the nominal due date. And if you remember it properly, we had discussed this point also, that if the legal due date is falling on a public holiday, then we should consider 1 day earlier. 4th of August is not a public holiday, so we are saved from the difficulty. Okay, let me disappear from the screen. Check this particular discussion. Due date, how it is calculated? Date of drawing plus tenure of the bill is equal to nominal due date. Add grace days is equal to legal due date. Legal due date is on 4th of August. So the date of drawing, what are the transactions which took place? First of all, Pratap sold goods. We have passed the entry. Second one, on the same day Pratap drew the bill and it was accepted by Sujit. We passed the entry. But at the end of the bill, now the bill's life has started. During the life nothing has happened. Neither it is discounted, nor it is sent to bank for collection, nor it is endorsed in favor of anybody else. So the life of bill is now going on. Now we are going to enter into the due date part of the bill. So from 1st June up to 4th August, nothing special happened in the life of the bill. from 1st June up to 4th of August, nothing special happened in the life of the bill. But on 4th August, 3 different situations are told by the problem. So let me consider now what may happen on 4th of August. 4th August 2019. 4th August 2019. Sir, you have not left one line. Don't worry. I'm going to leave it. Don't worry. On 4th August 2019, I'm going to consider first of all situation A. What is the situation A? If it is honored. So situation A, I'm going to consider here if it is honored. Okay. What is entry we are going to pass? Think about it. What will happen in such a situation? Once you have identified that 4th of August date, and now Mr. Pratap is opening his cash box, coming to the office, opening his cash box, and he finds that on that particular date in his cash box there is one bill of exchange which was drawn by he himself in the past on 1st June. It was drawn on Sujit, and Sujit had accepted it and gave it back to him. It was a bill for 2 months, drawn on 1st of June. So it was going to fall due on 1st of August, but 3 grace days to be added. So it is 4th of August, and today is 4th of August. That means now Pratap will get up from his chair and will go to Sujit's house or Sujit's office and will ask him to pay the bill. And the problem is telling you situation 1, Sujit honored the bill. In that case, what Mr. Pratap will get? Simple, Pratap will get cash because we have said Sujit honored the bill. Sujit paid the bill. Sujit honored his commitment. To honor means to pay. To honor means to do as was agreed by him. He had agreed that I will pay on 4th of August, and he is doing the same. So that is considered as honoring the bill. So Sujit is honoring the bill. In that case, what will happen to Pratap? Pratap will go to Sujit's house. He will show the bill of exchange. Sujit will say, yes, yes, welcome, sit on the chair, let me count cash, or let me prepare a check, something of that sort, and he will give the cash to Mr. Pratap, or he will give the check to Mr. Pratap. Pratap will give the bill of exchange back to Sujit. He will cancel the bill or tear off the bill, throw it away. The life of bill is over. Or he may keep it in his file that I honored it, and he will take the signature of Pratap that the amount is received, and then he will keep it in his file that I accepted the bill on 1st of June. On 4th of August, Pratap only came and Pratap took the money, and Pratap has signed that he has received the money. Now this particular bill Sujit will not give back to Pratap because the life of bill is over. Either he will throw it away or he will file it properly after taking signature from Pratap. If he is throwing it, then he will destroy it. And if he is not throwing it, then he will take a signature from Pratap that the amount is received from Mr. Sujit on so and so date. That's how the things will happen. So what will happen for Pratap? Think about it. I'm repeating again. On 4th of August, Pratap came to his office, opened his cash box, found a bill, read the bill, due date of the bill, found that it is 4th of August only, same date. Then he checked the address. The address was of Sujit. He went to Sujit's office, showed him the bill. Sujit welcomed him. Sujit asked him to sit on the chair, counted the cash, gave it to Pratap, and asked Mr. Pratap to write on the bill of exchange that the money is duly received from Sujit in full settlement on 4th of August. Pratap signed that particular bill and gave it to Sujit. Sujit may either file it in his file or Sujit may destroy it and throw it away. Simple. So for Pratap, cash is coming in, and the bills receivable which he was holding for so many days in his hands, for 2 months and 3 days, that bill he was holding in his hands or in his cash box, that has now lost its life. That has got converted into cash. So what is going out? Bills receivable is going out for Mr. Pratap. Cash is coming in and bills receivable is going out. Entry will be cash or bank account debit to bills receivable account. Now some students may get confused. No sir, but actually speaking Sujit is the giver. So credit the giver. Entry should be cash account debit to Sujit account. Very beautiful doubt. Let me show it to you how the things are happening. When you pass the first entry, look into the cursor. When you pass the first entry, you said Sujit is your debtor. When you pass the first entry, you said Sujit is your debtor, but after you pass the second entry, you have already said that Sujit account is credited. In the first entry, Sujit account was debited. In the second entry, Sujit account was credited. It means Sujit account is already closed in your books. So now, at the time of honoring the bill, if you are going to say that Sujit is the giver, let us give credit to the giver. So let us give credit to Sujit account. Then Sujit account will get only one debit, but it will get two credits. That means Sujit account credit will be higher as compared to debit. It will appear as if Sujit is the giver or Sujit is our creditor and we need to give him either goods or cash or services, which is not the truth, which is not a correct position. In reality, we had already sold goods to Sujit in the past. He was our debtor. He gave us a bill of exchange. So we said, okay, you have given us a bill of exchange. This bill of exchange we neither discounted nor sent to bank for collection nor endorsed, so we were keeping it with ourselves, and today is the due date, so we are giving it to him. So why are we getting cash? If suppose Pratap goes to Sujit's house with the bill of exchange, Sujit welcomes him, asks him to sit on the chair. Then Sujit is ready with the cash after counting the same 82,000 rupees. He is keeping it on table and asking Mr. Pratap, give me the bill of exchange, write on it, amount duly received, put your signature, and give the bill of exchange to me, I'll give you cash. But Pratap says, no, I like this bill of exchange. This is a beautiful bill of exchange. I want to keep it in my house as maybe on a wall as a frame. You give me the cash, but I will not give you the bill. Sujit will say, sorry sir, then it is not acceptable because the tenure of the bill is over. Since the tenure of the bill is over, that means it is now payable. If it is payable, that means I am supposed to pay. And then if I am paying, then I don't want this bill to happen. I don't want this bill to land back in your own hands. It should come back to me now. So he is not paying to you because he likes you. Sujit is not paying to Pratap because he likes Pratap. Sujit is paying to Pratap because Pratap is giving back the written commitment, the written proof that there was some money which was owed by Sujit to Pratap. So it is actually speaking, since the bill is going out, that's why cash is coming in. So one can say the entry will be cash is coming in and bill is going out. Let us take another example. On that day, when Pratap is going to Sujit's office and demanding money, Sujit is welcoming him, asking him to sit on the chair. And then Sujit is counting the cash. And unfortunately, Sujit finds that he is having only 40,000 rupees in his cash box. He is falling short of cash. So his face is now pale. He's finding it difficult. Pratap is asking him, what happened, Mr. Sujit? Why are you looking so pale and weak? Sujit is telling him that there is a difficulty. I am having only rupees 40,000 in my cash box and I owe you rupees 82,000. I want to honor the bill. Just wait for some time. Let me call my father. Let me ask him, can he give me 42,000 rupees temporarily? Pratap is waiting. Pratap says, okay, no problem. I am ready to wait. Sujit called his father. His father came with 42,000 rupees in his hand. And then his father gave 42,000 rupees to Pratap and Sujit gave 40,000 rupees to Pratap. So Pratap got money from two people. Number one from Sujit and number two from Sujit's father. From Sujit he got rupees 40,000. From Sujit's father he got rupees 42,000. So in total Pratap got 82,000 rupees, but it is not paid by a single person, it is paid by two different people. Does that mean Pratap should say cash is coming in and Sujit is the giver and Sujit's father is also the giver, so let me give that credit to both of them? That is not required. Pratap will say cash is coming in and Sujit might be giving the money or his father might be giving the money. That is not important. Why are they giving? Because I am cancelling. I am giving it back. What I am giving back? I am giving the bill of exchange, the written proof that money is receivable from Mr. Sujit. That written proof I am giving it back to them. For that purpose this money is coming in. If I would not have come, if somebody else would have come to Mr. Sujit's house, and if he would have given the bill, then also Sujit would have paid. So Sujit is not paying to Pratap because he is Pratap. Sujit is paying to Pratap because he is giving the bill receivable back to Sujit, which is bills payable for him. But basically, since the bill is coming back to Sujit, that's why he is ready to pay. Otherwise, he would not have paid. So it's very clear for Pratap, cash is coming in and bill is going out. Just like we are selling goods and we are getting cash. We are selling furniture and we are getting cash. We are selling land and building and we are getting cash. Similarly, now we are giving the bill and we are getting cash. Entry will be cash or bank account debit to bills receivable account. So please remember, for honoring the bill, the entry in the books of drawer is cash is coming in, debit what comes in, and bill is going out, credit what goes out. So to bills receivable account. Okay, so let me pass the entry. Entry is cash account debit to bills receivable account. Okay, amount is how much? 82,000. Amount is how much? 82,000. Oh, yeah, being bill honored. And in the books of Mr. Sujit, the entry will be cash is going out. हाँ sir, yes, cash is going out. And sir, Pratap is the receiver. फटका मारूंगा. Pratap is the receiver नहीं. Bills payable is getting cancelled. Bills payable is getting honored. The liability, the written proof which was hanging on our shoulders or hanging on our head, that money is payable, now that money is paid. So the entry will be our liability, the liability which was called as bills payable. Let me show it to you again. When we had purchased the goods, at that time we had said purchases to Pratap, so Pratap account was credited. Then when we accepted the bill, we said Pratap account debit to bills payable. So Pratap account as a liability, creditor, has already gone away because it was debited thereafter on the same date. And in place of him, another liability getting credited, another liability getting created, that is called as bills payable account. So the entry will be, whom are we paying? We are not paying to Pratap. If on the due date, instead of Pratap, his employee would have come, his father would have come, his friend would have come, or bank would have come, anybody, on the due date anybody would have come, still we would have paid the bill only if it is given to us. We are not interested in the person who is demanding cash. We are interested in checking whether that person is ready to give the bill back to us or not. That written proof which we had accepted, we are going to pay. Then is it going to come back to us? If yes, we are ready to pay to any person who is carrying that particular bill and whose name is written there. Are you getting the point? So the idea is, Sujit is not paying to Pratap. Sujit is paying to bills payable. The bills payable may be held in his hands. Bills payable may be brought to him either by Pratap, or by Pratap's father, or by Pratap's employee, or by Pratap's bank, or by Pratap's endorsee. Anybody may come. For us, the hands of the receiver are not important. But who is coming to demand the money, is he coming with the bill or not? So we are not looking at his face, we are not looking at his hands. We are looking at whether on his face the bills payable is there or not. If it is there, come and collect. Now let us take another example, very beautiful example. Suppose on the due date, Pratap is coming to the house of Mr. Sujit. But before the due date, Pratap has already discounted the bill with his banker. I hope you remember the concept of discounting. So if Pratap had already discounted the bill with his banker and he has already got the money, so on the due date, who should come and collect money from Sujit? It is the banker who should come and collect the money from Sujit. So Pratap is a good friend of Sujit. So he just came on the same date, coincidentally on the same date. On 4th of August, he just went to the office of Sujit. Sujit is sitting in his own chair. Sujit is welcoming Pratap. Hi Pratap, very good, you are my good friend, come on, sit on the chair. And then suddenly the banker also came in. So now at the same time in Sujit's cabin, two people are sitting. One is Mr. Pratap, from whom Sujit had purchased goods in the past on 1st of June, to whom Sujit has given a written proof that the money is payable to Pratap. But now in front of him two people are sitting, number one Pratap and number two Pratap's banker. Pratap is sitting, but Pratap's banker is saying that I am carrying the bill. Now you tell me, what is your opinion? To whom Sujit will pay? Sujit will pay to Pratap or Sujit will pay to banker? What is your opinion? Yes, correct. Sujit must pay to the banker, should not pay to Pratap. It is not important to find the same person whether he is demanding the bill or not. What is important is the person who is demanding the payment for the bill should carry the bill. That means for Sujit, It is not Pratap who is the receiver or bank which is the receiver or endorsee which is the receiver, but for Mr. Sujit, bills payable is a liability which is getting cancelled because we are honoring the same. Our liability called as bills payable is getting cancelled, it is getting repaid, it is getting over. So bills payable is cancelled, bills payable account debit, bills payable is honored, bills payable account debit, bills payable is over, bills payable account debit, and cash is going out, credit what goes out, so to cash account. Entry will be bills payable account debit to cash account. Being our acceptance honored, being our acceptance honored. Just a minute. ACCEPTANC. Let me change the font size of the same so it will be easy for me to write in only 2 lines. Yeah. Okay. And amount will be how much? 82,000, because that's the amount which is paying. I hope everybody has understood the concept. See the entry. If situation A is happening, then it is honored. That means bill for the drawer, the entry is cash or bank account debit to bills receivable account, being bill honored, and for the drawee, the entry will be bills payable account debit to cash account. Now let us consider second situation. What is the second situation? Bill dishonored on the due date. So no change in the first entry, that is sale of goods and purchase of goods. No change in the entry for bill sent for acceptance and received back as accepted bill. So 1st June entry is no change. It is only the entry on 4th of August that is going to change. So let me now consider one more situation. Just a minute. Let me duplicate this slide and let me remove these different lines from here. Just a second. Yes, I hope your notebook format is not yet fully used by you. It is still there with you. So for me, I am supposed to draw the format. Just a minute, and I'll call it as what? Now dishonored. Point number B is dishonored. Okay, point number B is dishonored. Yes. Okay, so this is how my format is ready. Let us start. Now what will happen? If suppose the bill is dishonored. If suppose the bill is dishonored on the due date, Pratap went to Sujit's office. Pratap first of all went to his own office, opened the cash box, found out there is a bills payable, checked the date, 4th of August, today's date, 4th of August. I'll have to go to Sujit's office. So he's going to Sujit's office. Sujit welcomes him. Ask him to sit on the chair. Ask him about tea or coffee. Pratap is having coffee or maybe tea. And then Pratap is saying, this is a bills payable. Come on, pay. Sujit says, sorry, I don't have cash. I'll not pay. You may take any legal action, but I don't have cash. I'm not going to pay. So for Pratap, what is going to happen? Pratap will specify. What is your opinion? Pratap will give that bills payable back to Sujit, just like in the previous case he had given bills receivable for Pratap and bills payable for Sujit. What is your opinion? Will Pratap write on that bills receivable received money from Mr. Sujit and put his signature and will give it to Sujit? It's impossible, because Sujit has said no, I will not pay. So there is no question of writing amount received. There is no question of giving that bill to Sujit. But most important, now that bill is useless, because Sujit has already said I am not willing to pay. Since Sujit is unwilling to pay, this concept of bill of exchange is now becoming useless. This bill of exchange has got no value now. It is necessary to cancel that bill of exchange. So bill is not going out, but the bill is losing its value. Bill is not going out, but the bill is losing its relevance. I hope you are understanding what I am speaking. In the first case, case A, when the bill is honored, then Pratap will sign on the bill. Yes, I received the money, full money received on so and so date, put his signature and will give it to Sujit. So bill is going out. When the bill is honored, it is going out from the drawer and going back to the drawee. Drawee may either tear it off, throw it away, or drawee may file it properly in his file as a record that I had accepted one bill and I had honored the bill. Good, very nice. anything he can do. But most important, in that case, the bill exchanged the hands. Bill was exchanged from or sent from drawer back to the drawee. Drawee may decide whether to keep it or to throw it, but the drawer gave the bill back to the drawee. In case of dishonor, there is no point in drawer giving the bill back to the drawee, but at the same time the bill is now irrelevant. The promise given under that bill, that promise is broken. Promise was after 2 months Mr. Sujit was going to pay to Pratap. It was an order given by Pratap to Sujit, and Sujit had accepted, yes, I'm going to follow your order, but he is not following the order now. He is not completing the order now. In that case, that order has become useless, irrelevant. It can't be used properly now. It is necessary for Mr. Pratap to say that the order which I had given on 1st of June, which was supposed to be performed on 4th of August, is not getting performed. It means that order is now useless. To say that the order is useless, it is necessary to say 2 bills receivable. So we will specify 2 bills receivable. 2 bills receivable account. But the point is, although he is saying 2 bills receivable account, order is going out, what is coming in? Nothing is coming in. No cash is coming in. Cash is not coming in, but the bill of exchange has lost its relevance. Cash is not coming in, but the bill of exchange has lost its relevance. That means it is necessary to specify that this Mr. Sujit, who owed us some money at that point of time, and which we had accepted that since he had given us a bill of exchange, that means he is no more our debtor. He has already completed his debt by paying us a bill of exchange. So from 1st of June up to 4th of August, we were not calling him as our debtor. But on 4th of August, since he did not fulfill his commitment, since he dishonored the bill, we will again say that he is our debtor back. So we will specify Sujit account debit. Sujit account debit. Amount is how much? 82,000. So what is the relevance of this entry? What is the meaning of this entry? The meaning of this entry is very simple. The entry is saying Mr. Sujit, he has again become our debtor because he broke the promise. Because he broke the promise of bill of exchange. Bill of exchange become irrelevant. It is irrelevant, but cash is not coming in. That means Sujit has become our debtor and bill has lost its value. So being bill dishonored. Okay. In case of Mr. Sujit, the entry will be the bills payable, the written promise which we had made in the past on 1st June has now lost its value. In fact, our goodwill also is now affected. Bills payable has gone. It is useless. It is irrelevant. And at the same time, Mr. Pratap, to whom we owed money, is still our creditor. He has not gone away from our life. He is going to demand money. He will go to the court of law. He will demand the money from us. He will ensure that the money is recovered, or otherwise he will call us as bad debt. That is going to be more difficult for us. So we'll have to accept it that Mr. Pratap is our creditor. So to Pratap account. Amount is rupees 82,000. So the entry for dishonor I have taught you just now. Entry in the books of drawer. Entry in the books of drawer is different, and entry in the books of drawee is different. Being our acceptance dishonored. Just a minute. Being our acceptance dishonored. Okay. Yes. In the books of drawer, what is the entry? Let me disappear from the screen. Yes. In the books of drawer, what is the entry? Sujit account debit to bills receivable account. Drawee is my debtor again, and bills receivable is useless. So let me cancel the same. Sujit account debit to bills receivable account. When it is honored, at that time also bills receivable account is credited. When it is honored, at that time bills receivable account is credited. When it is dishonored, at that time also bills receivable account is credited. So the point which we can conclude is whether the bill is honored or the bill is dishonored, on the due date the bills receivable account gets credited. But when it is honored, it is the cash account which gets debited, and when it is dishonored, it is Sujit's account which gets debited, because Cash is coming in, so in case of honor, cash account debit. Because cash is not coming in, the drawee is still our debtor. Drawee is still our debtor, so we'll say he's our debtor, Sujit account debit. Same is the case of dishonor entries. Whether it is honored or it is dishonored, whether it is honored or it is dishonored, bills payable account is debited. Bills payable account is debited. The credit is given to different account. If it is honored, then cash is going out of the cash box of drawee, so to cash account. If it is dishonored, then cash is not going out of the cash box of drawee, so it will be to Pratap account, that is to the drawer account. I hope everybody has understood the entries now. The entries are very simple. Whether it is honoring or it is dishonoring, the bills receivable or bills payable account are required to be cancelled. If it is honored, then the cancellation entry will be along with cash. If it is dishonored, in that case, the cancellation entry will be along with debtor or creditor, as the case may be. I hope it is clear to all of you. So bills receivable for Mr. Pratap is an asset. That's why when it came in his books for the first time, it was debited. And when it got cancelled on account of honoring, it got credited. Or cancelled on account of dishonoring, it got credited. Same is the case with drawee. Bills payable for the drawee is a liability. So when the liability is paid, it is bills payable account debit. Or when the liability is not paid and in place of it, new liability is now getting in our books, again the old liability, that is bills payable account, is getting debited. I hope the entries are clear to all of you, how the entries are passed for honor as well as for dishonor. Now one more situation, situation number C. What if the bill is dishonored? So what has happened? Let us consider the same situation. On 4th of August, Pratap went to his office, opened the office, sat on his chair, opened the cash box and found there is a bill receivable. He checked the date 4th of August, today's date 4th of August. Checked the name, Sujit. He went to Sujit's office, showed him the bill. Sujit said, okay, baithiye, tea, coffee. And then Sujit said, sorry, but I will not pay. I am ready to give you tea, I am ready to give you coffee also, but I will not pay the bill. Pratap said, in that case, I will go to the court of law. Sujit said, yes, you can do whatever you want, but I will not pay the bill. I can give you 2 times coffee, 3 times coffee, but no bill payment. So what will happen? Pratap will not go to the court of law directly. Pratap will first go to a government appointed person, or a person to whom government, not appointed person, but government authorized person. That is called as notary public. He will go to notary public's office and he will specify, this was the bill which was drawn by me on 1st of June on Mr. Pratap for 2 months for rupees 82,000. Today is 4th of August. I had gone to Sujit's office. He has refused to pay. Please make a noting in your register that the bill is dishonored, and please give me a certificate that it is noted in your books on so and so date. So this is called as noting and protesting. Notary public will say, okay, let me see, there is a procedure for that. He may again ask Sujit to pay, and if Sujit fails to pay, in that case he will say, okay, let me write down that the bill is dishonored. Okay, and he will give a certificate to Pratap if Pratap demands for the same. Bill is now standing in hands of whom? Bill is still in the hands of Pratap, but along with that bill which is dishonored, he is also having a certificate given by notary public that notary public also knows Sujit has shown unwillingness to pay. So now Pratap can go to the court of law and can show to the court of law, I gave proper time to Sujit. I did not go on nominal due date. I went on legal due date. I asked him for payment. He did not pay. Then I went to notary public. I followed all the procedure. Still Sujit is not paying. So please help me for the purpose of collecting the amount from Sujit. Then court of law may come into picture, and then court of law may direct Sujit for the purpose of payment of money. If Sujit fails to pay, then court of law may declare him to be insolvent, and the property of Sujit will be sold and money will be given back to Pratap. I hope you can understand how the situation will be. So most important now, situation C, that the bill is dishonored by Sujit and Pratap is angry. He is not directly going back to house. He is not tearing off the bill, but he is a cool-headed man. Although he is angry, he is cool-headed. He knows how to handle such situation under the Negotiable Instruments Act. So he goes to a government authorized office, that is called as notary public. He asks the notary public to note down this event that Sujit did not pay. Notary public followed the procedure told to him. After that, he noted it in his register, and then he gave a certificate to Pratap that Sujit has failed to pay. Now Pratap is getting up from the chair in the office of notary public and ready to get out with the certificate. Notary public will say, wait, don't directly go. Don't forget to pay my charges. because I'm creating a proof for you. I'm going to maintain this register now forever. So don't forget to pay me the charges, because this proof can be used by you afterwards in the court of law. Don't forget to pay me the charges. So Pratap is paying noting charges. And what are the noting charges told by the problem? Noting charges are rupees 250. Paid by whom? Pratap. Sir, why Pratap is paying? Why Sujit is not paying? Sujit has not gone to Notary Public. Who went to Notary Public? Pratap has gone to Notary Public. I'm repeating again the event, chain of events. 4th August, in the morning, Pratap went to his own office, opened the cash box, found a bill, went to Sujit's office, sat in the chair, asked for money. Sujit offered tea, coffee, but did not pay the bill. Pratap got angry, but his cool-headed man went to Notary Public office, sat there in front of Notary Public, showed the bill. Notary Public noted it, created a certificate and gave it to Pratap. So in front of Notary Public, Pratap is sitting. So Notary Public will say, I am giving a written proof to Pratap. So who should pay? Pratap should pay. Notary Public will demand money from Pratap. If Pratap is going to tell that ask it from Sujit, not from me, Notary Public will say, see mister, I have given help to you, so I am going to charge you. If you feel that this money should be paid by Sujit, you demand it from Sujit, don't ask me to go there. So Notary Public will demand money from Pratap. I repeat, Notary Public will demand money from Pratap and not from Sujit. So Pratap will have to pay noting charges. Now comes a very, very important question. What is the entry to be passed in the books of Pratap for noting charges paid? Okay, what is the entry to be passed in the books of Pratap for noting charges paid? Before that, let me prepare the format for the same. And yes, here it is. Insert below. Yes, insert below, insert below. And here also I'll do the same thing. Yeah. Situation number C. Dishonored and noting charges. Okay, entry number C, dishonored and noting charges. This is the situation. I hope everybody is clear with this. Now think about it. First entry will be dishonor. There is no need to think about anything else. The entry for dishonor we have learnt already. The same entry will be there. So in situation C, which is on 4th of August, first entry will be for dishonor. Entry is Sujit is our debtor and bill is going out. So the entry passed is very simple entry. Sujit account debit to bill cessable account being bill dishonored. Okay. And in the books of Sujit, entry will be being bill dishonored, being our acceptance dishonored. Entry is bills payable is now useless and Pratap is still our creditor. So to Pratap account. First entry same, exactly. Dishonored first entry same. In situation B, whatever is entry we have passed, situation B was having only one entry, but situation C, first entry will be just like situation B and one more entry that will be for noting charges. Okay. So I'll specify now noting charges. Please think about it. Let us take an example. That you have gone to the college. You are standing outside the gate of the college. You are waiting for your friend to come to the college. Okay, you are a very perfect person. You always reach the college 15 minutes before the timing of the college. So you are standing there. Your friend is a late Latif. You always comes late. So you are waiting outside the college for your friend to come. Then both of you are going to enter the college premises. And suddenly in front of you one rickshaw stopped. And your friend got down from the rickshaw. Your friend took out his wallet and took out 500 rupee note. Rickshaw wala is telling him to pay 25 rupees. Your friend is giving him 500 rupee note. Rickshaw wala is saying he doesn't have change. So he is expecting your friend to pay 25 rupees. Your friend does not have change. He is having only 500 rupee note. He suddenly finds you standing there looking at you. He is asking you, my dear friend, please help me. If you have change of rupees 25, please pay it to the rickshawala. Please pay it to the rickshawala. Now you know that he is your very best friend. There is no tension. You want to help him. So you take out your own wallet and then you are counting 25 rupees change, you are giving it to the rickshaw wala. My question to you is, what is the entry to be passed by you in your own books? It is rickshaw charges account debit to cash or bank account, or it is your friend account debit to cash or bank account? Because you are paying rickshaw charges, so debit all expenses and losses, rickshaw charges account debit, and cash is going out, credit what goes out, so to cash or bank account. That is the normal entry which will immediately come in your mind when you are paying to the rickshaw wala. In your mind, if you are thinking of journal entry may be rickshaw charges account debit to cash or bank account, but that's a wrong entry, because your friend is a very swabhimani person, self-respecting person. He is not interested in getting money from you as a gift. If you want to give him a gift, he is ready to take it. But he wants a big gift, maybe lakh of rupees or maybe crores of rupees. He doesn't want a gift of 25 rupees. He is a self-respecting man. Your friend is telling you that tomorrow while coming to the college, I'll bring rupees 25. Don't worry. Today you pay to rickshaw wala. Tomorrow I'll bring rupees 25. So today you are paying rickshaw charges. Today you are paying it in the hands of rickshaw wala. Today, your friend is not at all coming in the picture. Friend is standing besides. And you and rickshaw wala are talking to each other. You are giving 25 rupees to rickshaw wala, and rickshaw wala is going away. Friend's hands have not come in between. The friend is standing besides. From your pocket, money came out and it went into the pocket of rickshaw wala. So you can say either rickshaw wala account debit to cash or bank account, because debit the rickshaw wala, debit the receiver. Or you can say, no sir, rickshaw wala is not important, rickshaw charges are important, let me call rickshaw charges account debit to cash or bank account. Or one can also say, no sir, rickshaw wala is not important, rickshaw charges are also not important, but the friend is important. I am not paying on my own behalf. I am paying on behalf of my friend. I am not paying my own expenditure. I am paying expenditure of somebody else. Since I am paying expenditure of somebody else, it is as good as a kind of a loan which I have given, a temporary loan I have given to my friend, which he will repay tomorrow. So today, me making payment to rickshaw wala is automatically making my friend as a debtor of mine. If I would have paid my own rickshaw charges, I would have passed entry rickshaw charges account debit to cash or bank account. But if I am paying somebody else's rickshaw charges, then neither the rickshaw wala is important nor the rickshaw charges are important, but what is important is why I am paying it, on account of whom I am paying it. I am paying it on behalf of my friend, so in that case it will be friend's account debit to cash or bank account. Next day morning, your self-respecting friend is giving you 25 rupees back, entry will be cash account debit to friend account. I hope you are understanding the concept. So in this case, when I am paying to the rickshaw wala, one can say, sir, there are different accounts which can be affected. Number one, rickshaw wala account can be considered, or number two, rickshaw charges account can be considered, or number three, friend account can be considered. I'll say rickshaw wala account is not important, rickshaw charges account is not important, because the transaction is not done by you on your own behalf. It is not your own transaction. It's a transaction of making payment on behalf of somebody else. That somebody else is not treating it as a gift. That somebody else is treating it as a loan. On next day is going to repay the money. So the entry to be passed today is your friend is the receiver of the benefit. Since the cash is getting out of your pocket, your friend's transaction with the rickshaw wala is getting over. I repeat, since the cash is getting out of your pocket, your friend's transaction with rickshaw wala is getting over, so the friend got the benefit. That means for us, it is friend which is important, not the rickshaw wala, not the rickshaw charges. Now next day, or maybe next to next day, maybe after 1 month, you are supposed to go to college as usual, and on that day, you are little late in the morning to get up from the bed. So you took rickshaw, same rickshaw wala who brought your friend to the college on that day is standing in front of your house. You hurriedly went into the rickshaw. You got out of the rickshaw in front of college. You paid him 25 rupees. You are having proper change with you. Now the question is there in your mind. Sir, what entry I should pass? Last time I paid the same rickshaw wala. The entry was friend account debit to cash or bank account. Today I am coming by rickshaw. I am paying the same rickshaw wala. Entry should be again friend account debit to cash or bank account. Phatka marunga. Entry no question of friend now, because you are making the transaction on your own behalf. Since you are making the transaction on your own behalf, it is your expenditure. So that 1 month after transaction, when you are coming by rickshaw, fortunately, luckily, coincidentally, it is the same rickshaw wala, still now rickshaw charges are important, now friend is not important. So the rule to be kept in mind is whenever you are paying the expenditure, simple rule is जिसका मिस्टेक उसका खर्चा. ज्याची चूक झाली त्याने खर्च करायचा. चूक कुणाची झाली? ड्रॉईची झाली. चूक कुणाची झाली? सुजितची झाली. मिस्टेक कोणी केली? ड्रॉईनी केली. Who did the mistake? Droy made the mistake. So Droy should pay. Today Droy is not sitting in the front of notary public. So Droy is not paying. Today drawer is paying. But drawer is not paying because of his own mistake. Drawer is paying because of the mistake of Droy. So drawer will demand noting charges from the Droy. So drawer will demand not only 82,000 rupees of the old bill, but drawer will also demand 250 rupees which he paid to notary public. I hope it is clear to understand. Okay, so the rule to be kept in mind, jiska mistake uska kharcha. The person who makes the mistake must bear the charges of the mistake. I repeat, the person who makes the mistake must bear the charges of the mistake. Repeating for the last time, write it down. The person who makes the mistake must bear the charges of the mistake. Dishonor is the mistake of the drawee. It means noting charges are to be paid by drawee. But on the date of noting, drawee is not there, therefore they are paid by the drawer. So drawer is paying noting charges on behalf of drawee. Entry will be drawee account debit to cash or bank account. Rule to be written is, the person who makes the mistake must bear the charges of mistake. I repeat, the person who makes the mistake must bear the charges of mistake. Okay, so let me pass the entry now. The entry is not noting charges, entry will be Sujit. Sujit account debit to cash account. Amount is how much? Amount is 250. Being noting charges paid on behalf of Sujit. Okay, being noting charges paid on behalf of Sujit. And what is the entry we will pass? In the books of Sujit, let me disappear from the screen because there will be sufficient space now to write it. Entry will be entry number 2. Sujit will say, this is my expenditure. I have made the mistake. Since I have made the mistake, since I have not fulfilled my promise, I'll have to pay. Today I am not paying. Today it is paid by Pratap. But ultimately Pratap will not forget this money. Pratap is going to demand it from me. So today, by dishonoring the bill, I have already created one difficulty. I have already created a creditor called as Mr. Pratap of rupees 82,000. Along with that, since Mr. Pratap has gone to notary public, and since notary public has already demanded 250 rupees from him, since Pratap has already paid it to him, Pratap will not leave that money. He will demand along with 82,000 rupees, 250 again back to be paid to him. So Pratap is my creditor by rupees 250. So to Pratap account 250, that is for sure. That is known to me. But the problem is then debit. To whom to debit? To whom to debit? Every debit must have equal and corresponding credit. There cannot be a journal entry with only credit. There will be every journal entry will have to have debit as well as credit effect. So to whom to give debit? Then Sujit will realize that it is his mistake. That means it is he who should bear the charges of the mistake. So these will be considered as the charges of Sujit. Entry will be noting charges account debit. Noting charges account debit. Amount is how much? 250. So when you are making payment to the rickshawala in front of your college for on behalf of your friend, you must have passed entry friend account debit to cash or bank account. You must have passed entry friend account debit to cash or bank account, and your friend was standing besides near the rickshaw. At that time he was passing the entry in his own books, rickshaw charges account debit, but I was not having cash. I'm talking about your friend. I'm not talking about you. Your friend will think rickshaw charges are getting paid. Rickshaw charges is my expenditure, but cash is not going out. Today my friend is paying. So my friend is the giver. Rickshaw charges my expenditure, but friend is the giver. rickshaw charges my expenditure, but friend is the giver. If rickshaw charges are paid by me myself, entry will be rickshaw charges to cash. Rickshaw charges are paid by my friend, entry will be rickshaw charges to friend account. Similarly, entry will be noting charges account debit to Pratap account. Clear to all of you? जिसका मिस्टेक उसका खर्चा. जो चूक करतो त्याला चुकीचा भुर्दंड भोगायला लागतो. The person who makes the mistake must bear the charges of the mistake. So who should record it as expenditure? Sujit should record it as expenditure. In the books of Sujit, entry will be noting charges account debit. But today cash is not going out. Afterwards we may have to pay. So the entry will be noting charges account debit to Pratap account, being noting charges paid by Pratap. Being noting charges paid by Pratap. I hope it is clear to understand. Okay. So situation number 1 and situation number 2 and situation number 3, or situation A, B and C. Since there is no change on the transaction of buying and selling, no change on the transaction of bill drawn and accepted, that's why I have not passed the entries of 1st June for 3 times. I have passed the entry only for 1 time. Then on 4th August the problem had given us 3 different situations. अगर ऑनर हुआ तो क्या, तो एक ही एंट्री आएगा. अगर डिसऑनर हुआ तो क्या, तो एक ही एंट्री आएगा. अगर डिसऑनर के साथ में नोटिंग चार्जेस आया तो क्या, तो उसका एक एंट्री, उसका 2 एंट्री आएगा. पहला एंट्री डिसऑनर का और दूसरा एंट्री नोटिंग चार्जेस का. डिसऑनर एंट्रीज आर ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड नोटिंग चार्जेस आर ब्यूटिफुल एंट्रीज. जिसका मिस्टेक उसका खर्चा. जो चूक करतो त्याला चुकीचा भुर्दंड भोगायला लागतो. द पर्सन हू मेक्स अ मिस्टेक मस्ट बेअर द चार्जेस ऑफ द मिस्टेक. सो फॉर द ड्रॉवर द एंट्री इज ड्रॉई टू कैश. For the drawee, the entry is noting charges to drawer. I hope it is clear to all of you. That's all I wanted to discuss in this problem. In the next problem, I will consider next variety. So thank you very much for being with me. Let us meet in the next lecture for second type of variety of problems. Totally, I think we are going to solve 24 to 25 problems. So develop a good stamina and be with me. Fantastic topic, interesting topic for intelligent students like you. Okay, bye-bye.